Drewitz, in the southeast of Brandenburg's capital Potsdam, is a neighbourhood of prefab housing that was constructed before the start of the 1990s. More than 5,800 people live here. It is a neighbourhood characterised by homogeneous architecture. Despite a high employment rate, the majority of households rely on benefit payments. To invigorate the district and make it more attractive for residents, the federal state capital and an array of partners plan to sustainably redevelop the neighbourhood into a garden city. In 2008-2009, we received a proposal from the Urban Housing Association, which owns a good deal of housing there, to undertake radical redevelopment measures and to combine those with a redesign of the district. Then an urban development concept was put forth, presented by Potsdam, and that was very well received. Then in 2010, the City Council Assembly passed a resolution to implement those redevelopment plans, and that launched it. The crux of the Garden City Plan is the reorganization of traffic and open spaces, socially responsible renovation of flats, and bolstering the social infrastructure. The aim from the very start was to involve an array of stakeholders, particularly residents, in the realization of the concept. The basis for cooperation is a project structure that offers a place for every topic, stakeholder, and type of cooperation. A steering committee heads strategic management, a project group assumes coordination, and 6 working groups prepare and implement individual projects. Residents were asked to get involved too. In the spring of 2011, a large number of volunteers organized the election of citizen representatives. Since then, 15 elected members have represented their neighbours' interests. There was, of course, criticism from Drewitz residents. Certain things weren't welcomed initially, but people got involved. We elected citizen representatives back then, and that's a good way of getting people to participate. And now, when you look at the park, it's just great that people use it in the way that they do. The conversion of the main thoroughfare into a park was one of the core measures of the Garden City project. The idea behind the park concept is that we are dealing with a residential area where the people are relatively disadvantaged from a social standpoint. There is a high ratio of single mothers here who, although they have full-time jobs, require additional assistance from the state to augment their incomes. So one of the key thoughts behind this was to create a situation for people who can't afford to go on holiday that makes life in the neighbourhood more livable for them. Affordable rents are vital for a more livable neighbourhood. As such, socially responsible energy-saving measures were undertaken on the roughly 600 units. The city and Potsdam signed a cooperation agreement that included caps on rents. The rents, including heat, are nearly the same as before. The base rents have risen, but due to the energy-saving measures, the share of costs for heating have fallen. So we were able to renovate with nearly no added rent, including heating. Moreover, public buildings were renovated and the social infrastructure was improved. For example, a new school was opened in the neighbourhood, which includes a community centre called Oscar. It has its own homepage, regularly issued neighbourhood and tenant newspapers, and weekly reports on construction measures, thus ensuring that all parties, especially tenants, are always informed. In comparison to 2009, the measures that have already been implemented have led to savings totalling 740 tonnes of CO2 a year. And future estimates for CO2 savings are as high as 3,000 tonnes a year.